Good evening. Pamucho book quotation be Ezekiel chapter 4 verse number 9. Misra mo kokote enye kokunte misra mo Bible no ma study mo pa Bible no sometimes mo kankan a ways bi wo ho
Pacho yeah can English why Pacho for English na kanjira English for English na kanjira for English na kanjira
na ade obebo na search
na ade obebo no we are search what
yeah o wi ade no
we are the kuno obebo no o fo say jaba mi je na betra ho before me betra na before me betra sa na mi ko to ade no maka ade ni Hebrew maka ni Greek meti ase dada o eti unya wo de da wo wi java no wo ba betia Bible a che me wo carpenter no betia Bible a che me English Bible read it yanko me yesi ma hunu wanim na do hunu manim aye se wa jawanum bia wo dem na beka minim se sa na twi Bible na aka ho ba de be se be che o minim se di ma de ko ba to ma wunya kan Bible ni English yanko na mo
verse 9. Take wheat 1 and barley
2
beans
3
and lentils
Korean lentils no kwase say kokotia bo ben aduane obodi wa mo modi ti ko check lentils ko check ko fan na he ko fan na he woni kokoti din wo twi mu woni ni din wa brofu ko check no English na he
we are yankopon ya asemu ebusia ameka asemu nchiro hwe Bible na da ono enye de ameka sa asemu enye de o preach it mu ana ase de two quotations there 100 in 1 minute and in Bible no with all due respect, there is no difference between you and Apollos. Only Apollos are acts. The same people. There is no difference between you and Apollos. They are mighty in scriptures, but they lack revelation. They know the scriptures left and right. They can quote left and right, but they lack revelation into the scriptures. Also, Greek, Hebrew, and you want to convince us say Hebrew Greek now kind. We want to justify the fact that our continent and Obwa and Yanokre. The Yanokre that one will frame the opportunity, the main for Yankan Ezekiel quotation, Ezekiel chapter number 4, verse number 9. Take thou also unto thee wheat and barley and beans and lentils and millet and fishes, and put them in one vessel, and make thee bread thereof according to the number of the days that thou shalt be upon thy side. 390 days shall thou eat thereof. Required my sister Lentils. She Bible use the word cocotte into all person unproven chair and say sa cocotination a coconte no crebian a tro. Now listen, me show the very first rule of Bible learning and Bible interpretation begins with the study of words. We must study the words to know what they mean, and to study the words, to know the meaning of the true words, we must go into the Greek and Hebrew lexicon. Said na all kind Greek and Hebrew. I will say Greek and Hebrew lexicon. You go where that you use na you trust according to the Greek and Hebrew. And the memo will say, Papa, we won't. They didn't know it. Onim foko. And the memo will say, they didn't know it. Me do go Greek and Hebrew. Me the better was you. Be non kind. Millet, no. The Hebrew word for millet is adasi. The Hebrew word for millet is adasi, when adasi or moshe, and the Greek word near adasha. The Hebrew word near adasi, and the Greek word near adasha. In Chasiana say a lentil, or the kind can say an unused root of uncertain meaning, Mebaso. And the semicolon measure one occurs a lentil. Now semicolon eshe between two sentences are semicolon as a chain. They say those two things we can relate them together. Semicolon eshe one. HSC we can relate a lentil any uncertain meaning of the word now you use. Yes, Hebrew Greek person change said that word has an uncertain meaning. even though it has an uncertain meaning, we can relate it to lentil. That's what this semicolon is showing. Semicolon is shown as a channel. The moment you see semicolon between two words or two phrases, or person will say those two, we can relate them together. Now, a lentil, lentil, it is alien to our language. It's almost translated to Bible. Now they can't. They almost mean that word there from the tree. So the word there from the tree and finish the word lentil, because the word lentil is a legume. Yes, a leguminous crop. It is not native to our country, so they need few word behind the Bebasa word no. Into the word cocotina beshe or no. You to make us a one because never 6 no boss, nay, you can want some worker. Into one you will chat a piano want some worker, nay, yet a one some worker. And also, quadrant to be justified say cocotina show you coconti. Or more translated Bible, no mistake, or no this our problem we have. Into your quick Greek namayati is a lentil near the idea. Lentil near leguminous crop, I say beans. Yes, you should acquire beans with this. Yes, it is a legume. In the Tree language, there is no distinct traditional Tree word for lentils. There is no traditional Tree word for lentils because the crop is not native to Ghana. And yet Ghana product into Adia Enfi Ghana or Memu Hasenu. Omo translated Bible. Omunya Ghana word be a femadium. Omunya Tree word in femadium. Adia a legume. Ebidi Ghana has a young Tree word and man. Oh, yeah, then justify say you coconti. Oh, yeah, then justify say you coconti. Coconti a legume. Coconti a legume. Coconti is not a legume. So how can you justify say same way coconti? It is not true. It is not true. Lentil, a billy gun has it is foreign. And instead, lentils are grouped generally under the umbrella term for beans. Beans. It means a legume. It is a leguminous crop. And beans are a legume. If beans is not legume, then lentil is not. If beans is not coconte, then lentil can't be coconte because beans and lentils are legumes. Leguminous crops are leguminous crop are what do you say? It is never like that. Our judgment changing our person just any panel of flow phones on no mapon. Oh, now, okay, Greek and Hebrew is actually Greek and Hebrew, okay, West Beno Yusu, or you see the word adasing in the Hebrew and adasha in the Greek, adasing in the Hebrew and adasha in the Greek, and I'll say from an unused root of uncertain meaning. Unused root of an uncertain meaning, and all this semicolon Michelle. I don't try a lentil, I chose semicolon as it semicolon came between two sentences. So someone said those two are related. Those two are related. In say a lentil, they are lentil, it's a beans. Beans a bugonte. Beans a bugonte. Come on, and you're no predator. Inti jai huna na bere o wase na Bible no ni mu gidigidi as awo. Why is Apollo? So na me why is Apollo? Who quote gidigidi, but you don't have revelation. You think you know Bible kokonte. Kokote show ni kokonte. Omom translate it to Bible no why is a mistake. It's say lentils Ghana, Ghana. It doesn't have any tree root in it. They had issue translating. That's why I was saying in the tree language there is no distinct traditional tree word for lentils because the crop is not native to Ghana. The crop is not native to Ghana. That's why you want to bring your word, but maybe I show me this akokotene be show. You don't want to mistake. You don't want to make this a mistake. There show you kokonte. No, it is wrong. You are totally wrong. Osofo, waiting.
You are totally wrong. Osofo, waiting. Apostle Kwajima, where they waiting. Kachire nyami nshira wati, nyami nshira. Me said damn it is apostle eka kodi kokonte na nkrofo afre no mu bisa na nkrofo aba program nase me kwahwa Bible mu abrofo se lentils tree Bible se kokote eye den na kokonte anase eyi kokote okay na wo apostle Kwajima so obi afre kra na wo say onko kan lentils na enye aboa ho asema lentils any banching any sheye abrewa mi hwa oye jiwni lentils no yo mo bin sinkitin bi o mo dia busu am de bi begusu no mahu nti se wo si obi nkoka brofo no se lentils kra lentils ane cassava ni hwio lentils has nothing to do with cassava has nothing to do with lentils na ye beans na no ye gugu ye twi no brofo no lentils ni ko twi o se adua obi aso nim se adua ye beans nti apostle akwagyewa abrafom kakra to de bia na mutu no na odin dodo uye minim dodo church members mu Kristo ma wo ho wote mu Kristo ma wo ho